Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's boardzy, and if you've watched any videos about Logitech in 2024, they've probably been very critical of the recent releases, and this, the Pro to wireless, seems like it should fall into that same category. It's just a modern 80-gram refresh of the G Pro wireless. So yeah, well, it would not be hard to just be like, oh, 80 grams, bad stock skates, just go get a super light, which will be my advice for most just FPS players who believe in a lightweight mouse, but I do feel like this does actually provide some value for two types of people, and those two groups are going to be anybody who is still yet to come around to lightweight mice. Like if you're somebody still using the G Pro wireless in the year 2024 because you like how it feels, this is really the mouse for you. It just has an updated sensor and their optical clicks as opposed to the Omron 50Ms. And the second group is going to be either lefties or just people who want side buttons on both sides of a mouse. It just feels like I could not imagine using a mouse like that, but to each their own. So yeah, just being honest, this is a release that is going to please those two groups of people or anybody who just wants an additional side button on the right side. I remember over 5 years ago at this point, I had a wall taking macro on Fortnite on this top side button on the right side. But I mean, at this point, I would just much rather use a G Pro Super Light 2. I did use this for a few days thinking, oh, maybe there would be a bit more stability, raise my sense, I could maybe come around to it, but nah, I just don't recommend it. And the one thing that I really do want to criticize is this does cost $130. It has the Hero 2 sensor, but it's limited to 1000 hertz polling rate. And the weird thing is that in G-Hub, it shows the higher polling rates as an option, but it says the receiver can't do it. But I don't see anywhere like an additional receiver for sale. You can see the size of the dongle clearly smaller than the high polling enabled like standard G Pro 2 dongle. So it's just like baffling to me. Currently, a G Pro wireless is on sale for $65 on Amazon. It has both sets of side buttons. It's the same weight. It, of course, has the standard mechanical switches and the previous Hero sensor, but they both max out at the same polling rate currently. So the performance difference is not going to be massively noticeable, and compared to like the GPX Dex or a Super Light 2 on the newest firmware, these can go up to 44,000 DPI, whereas the Pro 2 Super Light is only 32,000, I believe. Obviously, nobody's using those high DPIs, but it just shows it's on like a lower spec version of the sensor. So that's just something that doesn't make sense to me. Like, why refresh it if you're not really going to go all the way? The switches, these are the Light Force switches, so they're the same as the opticals in all of Logitech's new mice. So it makes sense to do this refresh. They feel pretty light, though. Definitely lighter than my standard GPX2 did out of the box, like in one of the very old batches, but I've used this so much that the clicks have really like lightened up. The rebound's quick, they're very spammable, so I don't have a big issue with it. But yeah, these definitely feel in line with the clicks on the Dex. I don't have any issues quality-wise. As you can see, there's a bit of like side-to-side wobble. But yeah, Logitech's opticals, any implementation of them, it's a very like sharp, defined, crispy click. There's some Omron optical implementations that are a bit softer, and Razer's opticals are very dull in comparison. And yeah, I'm really not sure what else there is to say. They kept the same stock skate design, which is crazy to me, because every time they do a minor change to the GPX, they'll change the skate design, but they keep it in this situation. The shell, it just feels dense. It just doesn't feel as good as a GPX2, but Logitech actually did send this out to me. I don't know if I mentioned that. The first product they've ever sent out to me, they also sent a black version of the GPX Dex, which I will cover sometime soon. But yeah, that is absolutely shocking. So I thank Logitech, but obviously that did not influence my opinion on this mouse. Coating's fine. The RBG, did I just really say that? The RGB is based. That's why I fucked it up. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that there is now USB-C, because the original G Pro wireless was, of course, using micro USB. So yeah, if you're somebody who is still using a G Pro wireless, I mean, today is your lucky day. If you've already moved on to the Super Light, you're probably annoyed that Logitech R&D is going into this, as opposed to a new esports mouse. But you know, it doesn't take a lot to change this. It's really just a GPX shell, just with a few minor spec upgrades. So I wouldn't complain too much about it. If it's not for you, just, you know, move on. There's 20 mice releasing a week. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the G Pro 2 Lightspeed. But yeah, that's going to be all. Shocking. Peace out.